What's up, besties? What?
What are you looking
That's why I
for?
can't ever do a video with you. What's up, besties? Welcome back to my channel. Okay, for those of you who are new here, thank you so very much for clicking on this video. I hope you stay to the end, and if you are returning, I love you very much. And as you can tell by the title of this video, today I am talking about grace within marriage. That is on today's episode of this Faith Reset series. And I thought, what better way to talk about grace in marriage than inviting the grace here with me?
That's what we're
The,
talking about.
the person who I have to give grace to all the time.
Okay,
Because,
okay.
yeah.
You
So,
starting already? I gave you grace a few times today.
all right. So, with that being said, first, yes, I wanted to match today. My husband usually does not like to match with me, and I usually have to force him. But today, he matched with me. And do you guys notice anything different? Get into it. Different glasses. Okay, so to start, right, I'm gonna ask you a question. You answer, okay?
Okay.
What do you? What is the meaning of giving grace to you? What does that phrase mean to you?
Mm, to me, when I think of giving grace, um, I would say it's like giving patience, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I think that's the best way I can think to explain it. Giving grace is like giving patience or another chance. That would be how I would best describe giving someone grace.
Okay. For me, I would say giving grace is giving the same, having the same type of forgiveness that God has for us to another person. To give someone good, because everybody makes mistakes, right?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
don't think anybody would ever be able to give that much grace
No, we're not.
uh, because we strive for that. But saying you're able to do that would, in my opinion, be saying you're as good as God in that characteristic or in that ability, and we will
No,
never be that good.
no. I'm just saying it's following His example, His lead.
Okay.
Never feel like you're too good to extend grace to anybody, because when you do that, that's saying you're better than God.
Wait, say that again.
To not give grace to other people, who are you to not give grace to people when God gives grace to you?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like saying you're better than Him. I don't have to do that.
yeah. I agree
Yeah,
with you with that.
that's what I'm saying. You
Oh,
see
that's
what
what
I'm?
you're saying.
And now I have to give Him grace because He doesn't understand what I'm saying. All right, so I
Comment
have.
down below if she changed her meaning of
I
grace.
didn't. You're just
Okay.
simple. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna give you guys a scripture that kind of like ties in what I'm saying right now. So James 4 and 6 in the New International Version says, "But he gives us more grace. That is why scripture says God opposes the proud but shows favor to the humble." Right? So humility basically opens the door for even more grace.
Yes.
Yeah. So think of a time when you had to give me grace, when you want to just be like, you know what? Mm.
Today, a few times actually. When was the first time? Was it in the truck? No. Damn, what was it? You said something stupid, of course, and I corrected you. But yeah, you were still argumentative, and I said, you know what? Okay, you got it, and I just let it be. You're laughing. What was it?
I don't know. So you had to give me grace in that moment.
Yes. Yes. I didn't feel
Whatever.
like arguing with a brick wall today. So
To me, I feel like grace and forgiveness goes hand in hand.
when have you given me grace?
Oh, when do I have to give you grace?
Yeah.
I
When?
had I had so many so many. Yesterday I had to give you grace
With what?
because on Father's Day, talking to me like he crazy.
How? With what?
Why you talking like that? And I'm like, bro, chill out.
Like what?
I'm
Wait.
your wife.
When was that?
When I said a curse word by accident.
I didn't say why you talking like that. I said
You said watch your mouth.
no. I did not.
Like that.
No.
What did you
I
say?
said language.
No. Is that what you said yesterday?
Yes.
Well, either way, I didn't like your talk. Okay. So I had to give him grace for
Okay.
talking to me like he was crazy. But no, I think on a serious note, it's especially when we first got married, like the way he talked to me was crazy. Like I felt like it was very condescending. Okay. And I had to give him grace because he had never been married before. So he had really had know how to talk to somebody like
Grace.
he had. Yeah, because you would apologize, and I had to give him grace for that. I had to extend that grace to him because I understood that if I revert back to my old self, it's gonna get domestic. You feel me? So I had to give him grace, right? In your line of work, do you think how much grace do you have to
Every
have?
day. So look. Um.
It don't even
My
matter.
my line of work. I deal with people every day. New people every day, constantly.
Okay, so
And
better question. Sorry. Do you think you show more grace to them than you do to me?
yes. Yes. And
That's a hard question.
it is. It is.
You should be showing grace to everyone the same.
Yeah. Technically, yeah. But as human, it's not a trick question. It's a good
Uh,
question. But as human, I don't think it's possible to hold or not to hold to give everyone the same amount of grace. Because once again, uh, you got me. That's. I'll think about that one. What else you got? I'm gonna think
I
about
don't
that
know.
one and
These
come
I'm
back.
just finding these questions off the top of my head. But
What do you think? In my line of work, do you think
I
I?
don't think you give nobody as much grace as you give me.
Oh yeah, it's probably.
And that's because you love me.
Yeah, because everybody I deal with.
Ain't nice.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. So I'll take my answer back. I probably don't give as much grace as I think. Yeah, I
no
probably
you
don't.
don't. You should have had grace for that lady in Clarksville.
Which one? Oh, the one that thought I was gonna. No, don't even bring that up.
Okay.
God, don't even bring that up.
So for me, I think having grace within our marriage has actually kept us married this long.
Oh, without a doubt.
We'll be married 6 years in August, and I feel like
August 5th, yeah.
without grace, it we wouldn't have been married because we got married young. I got married at 23,
Hmm.
22, and 23 is when we got married.
Yeah.
I'm a old little thing, you young
And
little Cinderella.
so I think that goes back to why I say, or why I think grace, a part of it means patience, you know?
That yeah, I can see that. You have to have patience. I think in going into this next season of marriage, and my mindset for this whole faith reset is learning and understanding where I can have more grace for him at. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect
I
sense.
think
Makes perfect sense.
when it comes down to his parenting, I can have more grace
I
in
believe
that
that
area.
too. Yeah.
Because although we parent the same, we parent for the same outcome.
Yeah.
But our road to get there
It's different.
ain't always the same in a lot of ways. And I'll be trying to veer into his lane and tell him what to do over there. But I have to realize our kids respond differently to each of us. So what works for him is not going to work for me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is with that. And there's a lot of times when if I feel like I'm not getting results, all I have to say is, "All right, I'm about to call you daddy."
I guess that tells what parent I am.
Because if I do, and it's crazy because I do my little countdown from 5, and they start moving. I don't know what they think gonna happen when we get to 1, but
they know.
We don't usually get to 1. I get to about. Actually, that's a lie. My son get me to about
I was
1.
about to say Chase will wait till
He'll wait till 1 to start moving, but yeah. So I think that's one place I feel like I can have more grace for you in this next season of my life. Where do you think you could extend more grace to me?
I know sometimes I can be a little judgmental of your vocabulary. And you deserve more grace. Because when you're born into it, and you talk how you talk for 18 years before experience.
Yeah.
But, just.
My husband's talking about the way I talk all the time. But you guys will probably never hear it because I code switch. Yes, I do. A lot. It is so exhausting. But yes. So I am asking for God to really give me grace in this next that brought me to a pling. I had a pling moment. So
What's playing?
Pling, like the light bulb pling moment. Like
what sound does a light bulb make? If we're thinking about cartoons or
pling,
movies where the light bulb, you get an idea and it pops over your head.
Bang.
What sound is it? Try to
Bang.
spell it out.
Pling, something like that,
This
right?
This is what I mean by grace.
So I think I'm going to have. I don't know, but I'm planning before this time gets here, so I can already be prepared. When I have to leave for a rotation in upcoming months, I'll be gone for a very long time. I think during that time, that's when grace is going to come into play really, 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 really heavy, especially with our schedules being different, our time shift being different. So I think already praying to be able to handle that moment, I'll already go in it with the amount of grace needed to navigate that that space, because we don't want to wait till we get there to be trying to. Well, obviously you have to wait till we get there to try and figure out how the schedules and stuff are gonna go, but I don't feel like the fuse will be as short. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be a little bit more prepared in a way, trying to be more proactive than reactive to the situation of me being gone.
Yeah, I mean, I think the transition will be smooth since we both have been overseas before. We get it takes time for a unit to set up, and before there's an actual schedule that gets set into place.
I I think the first 30 days are gonna be okay. It's after that.
I think vice versa.
You think the first 30 days are gonna be harder?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, because they're gonna be asking, "Where's mommy?" every day.
But
They're
I
gonna want to talk to you more, and I'm gonna have to tell them we have to wait till mommy calls. We have to wait till mommy calls. Mommy could be sleep. I don't know what the time difference is. I don't know what time it is over there right now. You
but
know.
I have been gone for 30 days beforehand. So that's what I say. I think the first 30 days will be a little bit easier.
Yeah, and they wanted to call you a bunch before when you were gone, but
Oh,
now due to the time difference,
that's a big,
you
big,
know, you could
big.
be going to sleep when it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, and they're at school.
Yeah.
You know, and by the time you get up, they're asleep.
Yeah. So, grace, extending that grace of not being able to have your partner lean on you in times of need when you need them, because we will need one another during
Yeah,
that time, and you'll probably need to talk to me right then. But having grace and understanding of the situation
yeah,
will help us better understand that it's not that my partner doesn't want to be there for me, it's my partner can't be there for me right now, but I know in my heart if they could, they would. So
I want to change your words a little bit. I don't think it's your partner not being there for you, but I think it's more of partner not being there in the way that you want them to be there.
okay,
You know, because at certain points I would want you to physically be here, whereas you
that will
can't.
not happen.
You know, and there's certain times where we can each try to say encouraging words as much as possible, but words only go so far.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes that eye contact, face to face, body to body, can do a lot more than the best words ever being said. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes just a simple touch and a look that says it's okay is is worth the world. You know, so
Well, alrighty, you guys. So that is how we are practicing this whole grace situation. And
wait, how are we practicing it? We'll talk offline. We'll talk offline.
these are the areas, I mean, in which we want to learn how to practice grace more. Parenting, preparing for grace, praying for the grace for the future because we know that that's coming up. Okay?
I
But,
thought about another time I gave you grace today.
okay. And I feel like I know what it is. But
What do you think it is?
with that being said,
No,
no. All right.
how to be
So,
that?
because you hang out, man. Whatever. All right. So, with that,
Oh yes, at the end. Yes.
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 So, with that being said, this is my little spiel, our little spiel on grace within marriage and shifting our mindset when it comes to that. Because this week it's all about shifting my faith, my mindset within my marriage, within my family, and that's for him, my children. And we're starting with grace, you guys. Grace is a really big one, and grace is going to take you further than a lot of things in life, okay? So remember, extend that grace to somebody. Be humble, but also be very proud and just proud in the way of letting people know God did this for me. It's not from your own doing, it's from Him. So comment down below.
You thought you ate with that quote, huh?
Comment down below a time in which you had to extend grace with to your partner or to somebody else that you love and how that has worked out for you. Okay, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you back here again tomorrow. I love you.
Bye.